what happens next? Do they survive? Is there going to be a sequel, Whole Life?
I don't know how to answer a question like that. I think that surviving is not the right word. They have reached that eternity point where space and time meet, so the word surviving does not exist anymore. That they are, as he said, shall we? And she said, yes. Shall we stay in eternity? Yeah. Surviving is a poor word for what they experience.
What word would you choose?
I don't understand what.
If survive is a bad word.
I don't think it's a bad word. It's a poor word. Surviving is me. I'm surviving every day when I get up from my bed. They have reached a part of somewhere what it's called the singularity, where space and time are zero. And it's not surviving. Surviving is what we do, They are somewhere else. So that's why I say it's a poor word.
Okay.
Duck.
Sorry. Does anyone else have any theories about what happens after the end of the film?
It's not a theory. It's... why do... they do what they want. They have reached a part where nobody had ever been. So you don't need a theory for that.
So my next question is, does it matter to you if people who watch this movie don't fully understand it?
Maybe you did not understand it, but maybe some people understand it. Don't you think so?
I
think it's easy to understand when you don't try to understand too much. It's film, sometimes you can drift inside. Understand, it's hard. It's not necessary. Me, I understood.
And Mia?
She understood.
How much freedom did you have to create your character of boys?
I was given complete freedom to decide who Boise should be. Working with Claire, you get the real sense that she loves actors, and I guess, in a way that's saying that she loves human beings, and she is so open to what you... When we, our auditioning process, I guess, was we met a couple of times in Paris. We had a few glasses of wine and we discussed, and I guess she was assessing me and figuring out if I had the spirit of Boise and who she felt, and what was intrinsic to that character. And I guess she saw something in me that resonated with her. And then after that, I think she hands over the reins to her actors, and she allows for us to create what we want. And she either agrees with it or she either sees it when we're on set, and she either thinks it's something that's authentic and genuine and coming from a place of honesty and truth, or not. And then we're kind of harnessing and steering that sort of ship together. So it was entirely collaborative in that sense, and completely freeing, and you just feel so safe with Claire because you can't fail with someone like her. And also when you're on a Claire Denis set, the most important thing, every aspect of the film is equally as important, but you can tell that she has a specific focus to the performance, and that's really a wonderful set to be on, because you just feel complete. I really can't speak highly enough. Yeah, yeah.
I feel the same, because for me, when I saw you first time, I was so immediately, I felt you were the person I was looking for immediately. I knew in that hotel lobby, I remember, yeah.
Yeah. Which is a huge honor, because I don't really...
Honor, I don't know. It's something that happened between people, you know?
Yeah.
They recognize each other. That's it.
Well, this chimes with, I read a...
Like with Jessie, because Jessie, when I met her, she was in the casting director's office. She was still a little girl. And I liked her immediately, so much. And then the film was delay and delay and delay, and she was growing and growing and growing. And then Des, the casting director, I couldn't find nobody else. There was nobody else. And Des, I was in Germany already, and he said, maybe it's because you want Jessie, you know? And Jessie was having a holiday in Minsk.
Yeah.
And you came like over the day, you know?
Yeah.
And of course you have been growing. You were a young girl, no more a little girl. And I said, yes, it's true. It's nobody else. 2 or 3 years have been passing, but there was nobody else but you. It's the same thing, you know?
I remember that phone call. It was surreal. Later that evening, I was like up, vomiting, got awful food poisoning. So I was like just in a state of like complete like, what is going on? But it was, yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And Gloria, I saw a picture of you that Des sent me. And among many pictures, I said, yes, it's her. And I knew it was you, and you came. I mean, it's, you know, normally I don't need to see a picture. I need to meet somebody but it was so hectic, the beginning of shooting. But the thing is, the trust is a simple thing. Just easy. And it's better to trust, to believe in trust, than to make a lot of, is this right, is this wrong? Because it's better to go with a feeling. It's enough, I guess. Maybe because I'm not very brainy or something. I don't know.
And how does it feel as actors to have such loving attention from the director? And is that an experience that you felt influenced your performance on set?
Claire is extremely maternal. I've never felt more comfortable around a director in my entire life. And I think Oliver, our producer, said that Claire, that there's 2 types of people in Claire's world, either like people that she sees as lovers, or the ones that she sees as people that she can love. Or he said it in a far more eloquent way, but she, she's very maternal, and she's very caring, and she makes you feel instantly at ease. And I think in a situation like this, where it can be entirely nerve-wracking, she makes you feel incredibly comfortable, and it's very freeing.
And can you talk about filming your death by spaghettification?
Yeah. We filmed that on my birthday. On my 24th birthday. And I've never actually had a birthday party in my life. It's just something that never really happened. And that I consider the best party celebration. I've never had a greater birthday in my life. And it was so much fun. And we were in this little machine in the studio, and we just did it over and over and over again all day long. And it was challenging and extremely rewarding and completely bizarre. But I loved it. And I didn't really know what was going to come of it or how it was going to look, but I just trusted the process.
Because it was so hectic in the film production, the problem with the special effect, green back or black drape. We were a little bit lost, budget-wise for the special effect. But anyway, she was great. She made it real.
So Claire, I'd be letting a lot of people down if I didn't ask about the fuck box. Did you always have a clear vision for it, or did it go through lots of different iterations?
Oh, a very clear vision. It's really clear, And to tell you the truth, we were so surprised that we found that thing, that seat, with this little thing to have the dick coming up or down, that we found it in shops. We did not made it, The art department that just did a floor and the black curtain around, but the thing, we bought it, We bought it, yes. So I was surprised. I thought, some people, they have those at home, So in a way, it was reassuring. We were not monsters, but it was really weird.
And
yeah.
But
that's how human beings are, I can understand.
Did Juliette Binoche take it in her stride when you explained your vision for the scene for her in the fuck box?
She read the script. It was sort of largely descripted in the script, even with more. Her hair was changing color. There were even more descriptions, so we couldn't afford too much of it. But she was all for it, She was completely prepared for that scene. And we shot it in half a day, The longest thing was the makeup of the scar on her belly, but that's all. The rest was... And we had already the music by Stuart, so we shot it with the playback.
Since you mentioned Stuart, and I know that you two have worked together over 23 years, and the score is so important to the mood of the film.
More than the mood, I think they are inside the film in a way, Because if it's not a mood, it's something. Sometimes he sees a film more clearly than I do, It's more than a bubble. He knows he was born on Earth, so he cannot. She was born in space. She's born in space, so there are things they can't exchange in their experience, And he protects her, and he knows he knows pretty well, I guess, that if something happened to him, she's lost, you know. So he needs to be strong for her. He needs to... He opened himself completely. He becomes a different man. Oliver Dungy, one of my producers, at the very origin, as soon as he has read the first version of the script, he wanted me to meet with Olafur. And we went together in Copenhagen, and we met Olafur there, and there was a sort of understanding of what we wanted, and then we moved. He moved to Berlin with his big studio in Berlin, and Olafur, I think, wanted to be so much involved in the film that there was a moment where he suggested maybe instead of going to a studio, we should make the complete film in his place, you know. And it was difficult to explain to him that there was a sort of to make a film in his place was not completely easy, you know. He thought we were like, the crew was 3 or 4 persons, you know. We had to explain more. But then the time I spent with him, with my producer, with Agnès Godard and Yorick, I mean, we find such a great understanding about light that at that time he was preparing an exhibition, and I really had a flash with one of his yellow light, sodium light, and I told him, I have a feeling, I don't know what is going to be the last black hole, I have no idea. I don't want to imagine a shape or whatever. I think I only need that light. And then speaking with Aurélien Barraud, who was the astrophysician, I understood that maybe if you reach the singularity of a black hole, there is nothing but maybe a line, you know? And that's why we chose that color and that line. And Olafur liked the idea. And when there was his first picture of a real black hole published in the newspaper, and we saw the same color, everything the same. I mean, I remember I sent a little email to Olafur. I said, wow, this is something, you know? Olafur was, of course, he's not everywhere. He didn't want, in the end, he didn't want to design the ship because, I mean, he's working a lot on many projects. So, but his influence is in the film for sure.
I'm afraid that's all we've got time for. If you could all give your biggest round of applause for Gloria, Mia, Claire, and Jessie.